been a long time since I sat down and chatted through a Sézane lookbook with you. I think I haven't done this since the beginning of the year. I can't believe how quickly that time has gone. But I thought this new release that came out a couple of days ago warranted a little bit of a chat because it's our favourite time of year for Sézane. It's knitwear season, it's coat season, and this was probably the biggest release so far. Full of knitwear, full of cozy items. I do have some thoughts, some positive, some negative. So I thought we would have a cozy catch up, grab a cup of tea or a hot drink. I will grab my iPad so we can chat through the lookbook and I can tell you what I'm loving from it, what I'm not liking so much, and if I'm thinking of making any purchases myself. I would definitely get more views on these videos if I did them before the release, so when the lookbook has dropped but the collection is not out yet. However, I just can't form a proper opinion on these items until I know the compositions. I really wish when they released the lookbook they would say the composition so I know whether to get excited about an item or not, because I felt myself getting excited about some of the coats that were released and then finding out that they had polyamide in them was a bit of a letdown, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm doing this now, today, on the Tuesday as you're watching this, hoping to get this up tonight so I can talk you through compositions as well, because I do think that is really important, especially when it comes to knitwear and coats. I think composition is key. As always, I'm going to share my screen with you so we can do this in real time, so you can scroll along with me. And I've looked through this, but I haven't had a proper deep dive. So yeah, let's just get into it. So first image, these colours are really beautiful. There's a nice mixture of colour in this lookbook, I have to say. There's definitely some more warm tones, as usual. There are always warm tones with Sézane, lots of earth tones, but there are some cooler tones, especially some cooler browns, which I really do like as well. So this first jumper, the summer jumper, is this new? I don't think I've seen this before. Quite a simple crew neck with this detail around the neck, a little bit like what I'm wearing today actually, but this is obviously a V-neck version. This one though is baby alpaca and polyamide. I don't know if I've seen this composition before. Almost 70% alpaca, 30% polyamide. That is like a void like the plague for me. I think that is itchy and synthetic. So that is an immediate no for me. I do like the colour though. I'm very into green at the moment, as you can probably tell. We also have the Hugo, which is another one I don't actually recognise. I can't keep up with Sézane's releases and their items these days. Gone are the days where I knew every name of every item. This one is also baby alpaca and polyamide, so I guess this is kind of a new composition they have. Again, avoid. I'm really sorry, I don't like it. This a raw jumper is an older style in a new colour. I love this brown colour, but I don't love the composition, especially, I've mentioned this before, in something that is really fitted along this portion of the body. I find that in terms of itchiness, my neck and my collarbone and my kind of chest area is where I am most sensitive. So to have something that is off the shoulder and kind of very tight along the collarbone area, this is kid mohair, blended with merino wool and polyamide. I don't think I would find this comfortable. I feel like with these jumpers, I need to wear something underneath them. And obviously with this silhouette, you can't. So as pretty as it is, I do love it. I think it's beautiful. I wouldn't buy it for that reason. But yeah, it is such a shame because I really do love the look of this one, but it's just, I just can't deal with all of that that mohair. Really tight around my chest. So that is also a no, unfortunately. The Othello, this is coming soon. I do like this green, but again, the Othello is one that I do find very itchy, unfortunately. The first piece that I do think positively of is the Hannah bodysuit. I really like this. Love the chocolate brown. I feel like this is a warm chocolate brown, but it's not too warm. I would still quite happily wear this colour personally. The popper detail is not something I usually love, but I do quite like it on this because it kind of feels intentional. I don't always love poppers showing on jackets and things like that, but this one does actually have a use because you can use it to decide how low cut you want the bodysuit, which I think is quite nice. And this one is one of my favourite compositions, merino wool and organic cotton. I really do like this. I think this is a good wardrobe basic if you're into bodysuits, if you're into a more slimline silhouette. This colour is beautiful, very on trend at the moment, but always a classic. I would definitely recommend that one. That's one I definitely have my eye on, although I just noticed it's out of stock at the moment. But yes, I'm sure it will come back, and I think it looks great paired just with a simple pair of blue denim like they've done in these mod shots. Really, really like that one. The Emile is one I avoid, as you know. The Evie cardigan I tried last winter in the ecru, and this, although it is really beautiful, is also one that I would avoid because of the mohair in it. I think this is quite itchy from what I remember trying it last year. It also comes up quite small, so if you are interested in it, I would potentially size up in this one unless you want quite a fitted silhouette. I know a lot of Sézane's knitwear does tend to run big, but this one is one of the exceptions. It runs quite cropped, quite boxy, but quite fitted. So yeah, definitely size up if you want something a little bit more relaxed, especially if you're taller. I do love this model though. I think she's so beautiful, and I think again the pairing just with the dark blue denim, they've definitely gone quite simple with this lookbook. It's a little bit more pared back than Sézane usually does, less in your face florals, less bold prints, slightly more neutral muted colours just paired with blue denim, which I know a lot of you are really going to love. If you are not into that boho side of Sézane, you're going to appreciate this lookbook quite a lot. Saying a similar kind of look is the Clyde coat with these brown tones and denim. I was a little bit disappointed with this Clyde coat, to be honest. I was really, really hoping when this was released that it would be 100% wool, especially for the price point, £370. At that price point, that's the same price as the Mederick coat, which is 100% wool. I would really want it to be fully wool, but it isn't. It's 70% wool, 30% polyamide. Some of it's recycled. The lining is acetate viscose, so it is similar to the Clyde, but I just wouldn't pay £370 personally for something that is 30% polyamide. I think at that price point you can definitely find something for 100% wool. Or if you don't mind a little bit of synthetic in your coats, then you can go cheaper than that, definitely in the kind of 200 price point. Brands like coord and Other Stories, their coats usually range in the like £200 to £300 mark, and they're usually a mixture of wool and polyamide. Some of them are even 100% wool for that price point. So I was disappointed. I also think the look of this, it's beautiful, but it does feel quite vintage. It's that car coat shape, and I feel like these are really easy, even in this kind of cool tone brown, to find vintage. So if you're looking for a coat in this silhouette, in this colour, you want something that is 100% wool, I would definitely look secondhand or vintage, because I feel like you could pick something up like this, very, very similar like this, for under £100 if you're looking secondhand. I don't think there's anything too modern about it. So yeah, that would be my tip, is to look secondhand first. And I think if you want a Sézane coat that is wool at this price point, the Mederick is the better option. This Alina jumper is 100% yak wool. I haven't tried the yak wool yet, so I can't comment on itch factor, comfortability. I have heard mixed thoughts about the yak wool. Some people saying it's as soft as merino or cashmere. Some people saying it's kind of in between mohair and cashmere merino. So I'd be interested to know if you've tried it. Do you find it soft? I do like this jumper a lot. I like the button detail. I like the cool tone brown colour. I like the ribbing effect along the neck and the cuffs. It looks like a nice one, but it would just be whether that yak wool is actually comfortable. Interesting that they've just suddenly started using yak wool. I wonder why that is. Because they have new suppliers, but it's not material I've ever come across before from other brands. So I don't know if it's rising in popularity or if there's a reason for that, but interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts. Moving on, this Adele jumper with these fabric covered buttons all down the sleeves. This is a nice composition. This is merino wool and organic cotton. It does have 5% polyamide, but I can look past that. I don't know if I like this one or not, to be honest. I do like the look of it, but it does have wider sleeves, which I do tend to avoid in knitwear, especially if it's knitwear I'm going to be layering under coats, because I find if you've got a wider cuff that doesn't come in at the wrist, it's a little bit trickier to layer under things. I don't think I love the button detail all down the sleeves. It's not, offensive by any means, but it's just not my favourite. But I do really like the composition and the navy. I love a navy jumper in the autumn winter, again paired with denim. I think it's a really classic look. This Clyde coat is also coming in navy, which again, I feel like a navy car coat style is very easy to find secondhand. The checked version is a little bit more unusual and a little bit more unique, and it is also 80% wool, 20% polyamide. So it has a slightly better composition. If I was going to buy any of them, it would be the checked version. I do really love the look of it. And I think we all thought this was going to be a checked Clyde, as in the trench version, but it's obviously a wool version. So yeah, I do like it. I think this one is the most tempting for me, but again, I don't think at this price point I would be willing to buy something that is still 20% polyamide. I don't think so. One more thing I have to say, I really do like this outfit with the navy coat layered with the navy jumper, the white shirt and these trousers. These Rodrigo trousers in this brown, I would be interested in trying. I have tried the Rodrigo trousers last year in a checked version, and I did quite like them, even though they are low-waisted. I tend to just wear them kind of mid-rise anyway. So yeah, I think I would be interested in trying this brown tone. I do like this outfit a lot. I'm definitely taking inspiration from this outfit, even if I'm not a huge fan of the composition of the coat. I could definitely see myself recreating this outfit somehow. Moving on, this Quitteria dress. This looks like a cardigan to me. This does not look like a dress. It is longer, but it doesn't look very long, especially, yeah, it's 100% yak wool. It just looks a little bit too short for me. Oh, it also comes in grey. Yeah, this looks way too short for me personally to be a dress, but each to their own. You could definitely layer it. Maybe you could wear a mini skirt underneath it so it kind of just peeks out the bottom. That could look quite nice. In navy, we also have the Milan jumper. This again is a kid mohair merino wool blend with this button detail. A lot of button detail in this collection. I like the fact that you can kind of wear it off the shoulder, but I don't love the composition, so I'm also going to be avoiding that one. This coat is beautiful, but so expensive. The Calixed coat, so this is a short fleece aviator coat, 100% leather with 100% shearling, so really nice composition, but you are paying a price for that, £710. These are also jackets that are quite easy to find vintage, albeit not necessarily that easy to find in pristine condition. But if you're willing to go for something with maybe a couple of imperfections, I have seen coats like this on eBay and on Vinted for less than £100, and you're getting a very similar style. It's a kind of a classic style. It's been around for a long time. There are so many vintage versions, so personally not something I would spend £700 on because of that, but it is a very beautiful coat nonetheless. This JD cardigan, it's okay. It's this kind of cool toned beige, which I quite like. It's also in the yak wool. It's not a silhouette I tend to gravitate towards, this kind of long line V-neck cardigan, although having said that, with this jumper, I am kind of getting into V-necks a little bit more. I never used to like V-necks on me, but I think layering it with a white t-shirt underneath, as I've seen so many people doing over the last couple of years, is, I don't know, I much prefer it to wearing it with just my bare skin showing. So I don't know. I don't love the cardigan though. Louisan jumper, I don't love. This colour is a little bit strange to me. What are they calling this colour? Biscuit. I think that's quite a good name actually. Yeah, I don't love the composition, but also that colour I feel like would be quite hard to pull off. I think it works on the model with dark skin, but I think on me this would look terrible, to be honest. Moving on, this Amance cardigan. This is definitely not a new style. They've definitely had this before. This is rosewood. Looks incredibly itchy in this close-up picture. This Adele jumper, I actually think I prefer in the ecru to the navy. This is coming soon. This feels very fresh, quite bright. It looks really striking on this model. I do like it in the ecru, I think. This pattern, the wide leg trousers and the Tadeo jacket, this is a bit much even for me. You know, you guys know I quite like my boho style. I quite like something a little bit out there. This is a little bit too much. I think I would like this on a pillow. I've said this before about some Sézane prints. I would like this on a pillow in my bedroom, but probably not on a pair of trousers. But if you like it, it is quite cool. It's definitely unique. Down we have some classics. Oh, the Theophile trousers are back. I love the Theophile trousers. I don't own them, but I have tried them almost 2 years ago now, and they were great. They were so good for wider hips. If you've got wider hips and a smaller waist, I would definitely recommend the Theophile because there is definitely enough room in the hip region to accommodate wider hips. These are 70% wool, 30% polyamide. I don't mind that too much in a pair of trousers because I do sometimes find that polyamide does help a pair of trousers to, I don't know, just hold their structure a little bit more, and they're slightly easier to care for because of that. They're definitely quite long though, so unless you're really tall, they are a pair of trousers you'll have to get hemmed, but I do think they are worth it, and I actually think £140 for a really high quality pair of tailored trousers is not terrible, and I do like this light green colour. The Victor coat is £350. I believe this is 73% wool, 27% recycled polyester. It's cool. I do like the checkered design, but again, it's just not something I would spend my money on. This picture with the velvet trousers, are these out? Yeah, Tyler trousers. These are really cool. Very statement, but ugh, they're polyester. I was watching Mila's video I think this morning actually, which kind of inspired me to do my own video. And she said she hoped, this was before the collection had released, she said she hoped it was a cotton velvet, not a polyester velvet. Unsurprisingly, it's a polyester velvet. I think for that price point, I was expecting it to be polyester, but disappointing, to be honest. It's recycled, but I would much rather they charged a little bit more and used a cotton velvet rather than a polyester. It is very pretty though, and I love the textures going on in this outfit. As Mila said, I just think it's very, I don't know, it feels very pleasing and very rich, but not for me. Moving down, we have the Simon coat. I think this is an older style, reimagined in a new colour, mottled ecru. This one is 80% wool and then a mixture of polyamide. I'm not a massive fan of shorter jackets and shorter coats. I tend to prefer long line everything. I don't know why, I like that silhouette more, so it's not something I would try, but it looks okay. We've also got this very striking floral print in the Annie shirt. This is, I guess, a little bit more wearable than the trousers. I think if you paired this with, with jeans or with even like white or ecru trousers, that could be quite nice if you have quite a feminine boho style. This at Neil's jumper, this looks very fluffy. Again, kid mohair. Oh, it looks so different in these pictures. So I clicked on the picture and it's a very light ecru, but in the lookbook, it looks almost yellowy beige. The filters on these pictures are definitely quite intense. Something to bear in mind. If you're expecting the colour in the picture, probably be disappointed. I do like this Oxan dress. This was one of my favourites when I was looking through it on Sunday, partly because of the composition, of course. This is merino wool, organic cotton. I really do like this. I don't know if it would look good on me because it's one of those dresses that's knitted, but it's not tight and it's not loose. It's somewhere in between. And I always find those a little bit awkward on me. Like they're a little bit loose on top and then very tight on bottom. So they tend to not fit very well. But if you're the same size on top and on bottom, it might look really nice. And I do like the colour and the composition. These are kind of the same ones we've had, the Ella jumper. I don't really have much to say about these. I don't buy them anymore. Same with the Stacey. Same with all of these. The Angie, I never really got on with that cardigan. The Jack jacket might be new. I don't recognise this. Comes in grey, camel and black. Or maybe it's not new, but this grey one is. This is recycled wool and polyamide. It's okay. I don't think it's a terrible price for what it is, £195 for this blazer. I do quite like it actually. I'm getting back into grey. I swore off grey for quite a while, but now I can see myself adding maybe a couple of bits of grey back into my wardrobe. This is the Matteo cardigan and the Tobias jumper. So they both are zip style jumpers and cardigans, but one has a full zip and one has a quarter zip. This Tobias jumper in grey, I have always wanted this Tobias jumper. It's come out in a variety of different colours over the years. The olive green one always kind of stole my heart, and there was also a really beautiful blue one. I don't think it's on the website anymore, but it was from maybe last year or the year before, and I've always wanted that, but I've always resisted because of the composition. But it is really beautiful. I love the, what's it called? The toggle, the thing on the like jewel. I love that it's the same colour in every jumper as the colour of the knit. I love that the green one has this green jewel and the grey one has a grey one. I think that's a really nice design detail, but yeah, again, it's beautiful to look at. It's one of my favourites actually. I always kind of stop and admire it when I see it on other people, but I don't think I would actually buy it. Same with the Matteo. I'm guessing this is a very ballet core inspired outfit with these. What are those shoes actually? They're like ballet shoes. Very pretty, very delicate, but again, I would avoid. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but I would avoid. For the composition, this is a set I would not avoid. However, I think it's sold out already. This is a Sammy Nell set in burgundy. I've been waiting for this to be released, as I'm sure a few of you have. It's beautiful. Although again, look at this colour difference. On the actual picture, it looks very cool toned, like a dark plummy colour. And then I go back to the lookbook and it is almost like a red burgundy. Where's it gone? I've lost it. Yeah, so much brighter and so much more red. So which colour is it? I don't know. I reckon it will be closer to this colour, this darker plummy colour, but we will see. I don't think anyone's received it yet, but yeah, if you have received it, let me know down below what colour is it, because so difficult to tell with the filters, but it is a really beautiful set. I used to own this in navy. I did end up selling it. It's not my favourite on me, but I think I could be tempted by it in burgundy just because of the colour. The Sammy jumper I would definitely size up in. It runs quite small and quite cropped. So one of the reasons I sold mine in the end, because I got it in a medium, and I think if I was to reorder it, I would get it in the large, just because I like that little bit of extra length in the jumper itself. And also with the sleeves, they were quite tight in the medium. So I think size up with the Sammy, and with the Now I would probably size up as well. Or I got a large and I would get a large again. But if you're between sizes, size up, because I think it's always nice to have a little bit of extra room in those knitted fitted items. It's a very beautiful set though, worn with knee-high boots and a coat. It looks incredibly chic but incredibly comfortable. And of course the composition merino wool and organic cotton is my favourite. This Pauline jacket is really not for me. I don't like patterns in this kind of colourway, this blue with yellow and red. I really don't like it, but each to their own. The Joe coat is a classic coat from Sézane. They've done this for years. Electric blue, I do like the colour. I don't like the composition of this at all. Acrylic polyester, only 22% wool, 13% alpaca for £340. That will be a no from me, but yeah, if you like it, I do like the colour. I don't like the lorry jumper. Is that frill on the jumper or is that shirt layered underneath? I actually don't know. I think it's within the jumper itself. I'm not a fan of that. I don't know why. It's a little bit too Victorian for me. The Mia cardigan is one I haven't ever tried, but I have heard from people that it's really itchy, so I'm not going to be trying it. I quite like the Katrina dress. I'm guessing this is viscose. Oh, it's merino wool. Okay, I like it even better. It looks like quite a thin merino wool, and I like the ribbing. The vertical ribbing I think would be quite flattering, and obviously I love the colour. I do like that one. I think that one would be nice. Similar to the Sammy Nell set, it would be really nice paired with knee-high boots and a long line coat, like the Mederick coat. That would be a go-to outfit for me for autumn winter. The Tommy jumper, this one looks to be merino. Oh, it's yak wool. Okay, it's yak wool. It's camel, also comes in blue. Quite nice. I would actually be interested in trying a vest, a knitted vest. I haven't got one yet. No, I haven't got one yet. I do have that one from Ise Paris, but that's more of like a cardigan style with buttons down the front. I would quite like a knitted vest to wear under things, over things, sorry. But that one, I'm not sure about the actual shape of that one. I would prefer one that maybe has a slightly wider shoulder, I think. But it is nice. This Milo Classic bag is so beautiful. Is this a new colour? Oh, this is chocolate. Okay. It looks purple in the pictures. Again, must be the filters, but this is the chocolate croco print, so the same as the coord bag I have. Okay, that's kind of good in a way because I don't need to add this to my wardrobe now. I was thinking if this was purple, I would be very tempted by it because I don't have any purple bags, but because it's the chocolate croc and I already have this in the coord, I definitely don't need it in the classic Milo, but if you don't have it, I would recommend it. It's a really lovely, and it's so much more durable than their smooth leather. So if you are worried about durability and maintaining the bag, this one I've had for over a year now, and it is still, apart from the clasp, it's still in pristine condition. You can't really scratch it or dent it or get it damaged at all, which is great. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that one. I really, really like that, but I definitely don't need it. But it definitely looks really purple, doesn't it? Much more purple. It is not that colour in real life. So these pictures in the lookbook must be heavily filtered. And then when you actually click on the item and go to the item page, it's less filtered. Don't know why. Why would they do that? But anyway, moving on, we have, I saw on Reddit someone post that the Helene jumper is really, really itchy. So yeah, just a words up, I noticed that and thought it was funny. They said it was the most itchy jumper they'd ever tried, so probably not one to go for if you're sensitive. The Luke jumper is pretty. I do like it. Not something I would buy, but I do like the statement sleeves with the flowers. I think it's quite cute. Maybe something you would get bored of though. I do find myself getting a little bit bored of stuff that's like that has those details. Whereas when I go for something plain, it always just ends up being in my wardrobe forever because I never really get tired of it. The Andrew coat is one I've seen a few people trying. This is like a mid-length, and this is 100% wool, for £295. So considerably cheaper. It is a little bit shorter, so it's less wool, but I do like this one. I really like the vintage blue. Vintage blue is always a colour I really like from Sézane. I think it's very pretty, and I don't feel like you see it that often from other brands. You tend to see navies, blacks, you know, greens, camels, but you don't often see this lighter blue, and I think it's very stunning. I have the Mederick coat in, I think it's called vintage blue. It is a very similar colour to this, and it's my favourite coat in my collection. It's something I would never get rid of, I would never sell, because it's such a unique colour. I always get compliments on that colour, and I also think that colour works really nicely with burgundy. If you have any burgundy accessories or oxblood, a bag or a scarf, or even just like a hat and gloves, I feel like the vintage blue and the burgundy is a match made in heaven. So that's one I definitely would recommend. 100% wool for less than £300 in a stunning colour. I'd really like that one. I'm not going to buy it because I have the Mederick in the colour, but if I didn't, it would be one I'd be tempted by. This is interesting. I have no idea what this is. This is like a collaboration with Sézane and Le Man de Mamie. I don't know what that is, but it says Sézane celebrates craftsmanship alongside them with a capsule collection of hand knitted pieces. That's really interesting. So this is 78% mohair. Oh, no thank you. 9% merino wool, made in France. I mean, it's beautiful, and I love that it's handmade. It does look handmade. It almost reminds me of those Barbar sweaters that are handmade in, is it Italy or Spain? It looks like those, but yeah, 78% mohair. Oof, that sounds really itchy to me. It's nice though. This navy coat's nice. The Sasha coat, pea coat. Pea coats aren't really in at the moment, are they? They are a classic style, I guess, but I don't really see many people wearing pea coats these days. This is mostly recycled wool and polyamide. It's nice. It's okay. That's how I feel about most of this collection. It's okay. I wish the composition was better. The Juno jumper's pretty. Again, it has those button details. This green, they are loving this green this year. This feels like their colour. I would say this green and the burgundy are their two real statement colours this season, and I do like both of them a lot. I like this Hayley jumper. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like a tight-fitting merino wool or merino cotton blend jumper. I like that in the green. I could be tempted by that. I would love to see the whole jumper actually without the coat on, but yeah, £100 coming soon. So that's one to keep an eye on. This Hillary dress is beautiful. I really like this. A slightly darker green, merino wool, organic cotton, a little bit of polyamide, 11%. I can live with that. I love it. I think this is one of those dresses that would be slightly easier to wear than that first beige one, because it is form-fitting, it is tighter, rather than that in-between not quite tight, not quite loose silhouette. And I think this looks gorgeous on a lot of people, especially if you're curvy. So that's one I would definitely be interested in trying. We've got the Basil in green, not one I would buy. The Neils, also not one I would buy. And that is the end of the lookbook. So that is the lookbook. There were a couple of other items that maybe were released a few weeks ago that I also had my eye on, mainly the Matthew trousers in the black. I didn't wear a lot of black, but actually I was thinking about adding the Matthew trousers in black to my wardrobe because I wear the navy ones so much. I feel like the black ones are kind of like an alternative to black leggings, a little bit of a chicer vibe, but just as comfortable. And yeah, I feel like it's a good wardrobe staple. And I feel like if I'm wearing more neutral tones, like creams, camels, greys, the black ones would look really nice. And I already know that I love the navy. I'm actually wearing the navy ones right now. So I do think the black would be a good addition to my wardrobe. So that's the only item I'm really considering at the moment. If the Sammy nail set comes back in stock, I may be tempted to try that as well. But other than that, I'm actually loving sticking to some smaller brands, doing a lot of vintage browsing and shopping at the moment. I'm not really in the market for any more Sézane clothes, but let me know if you've tried or bought anything from the new collection. What did you think of this knitwear drop? Do you really like it? Do you like all these fluffy alpaca jumpers, or are you like me and you kind of avoid them like the plague these days? Are you a bit disappointed in the coats, that they are, you know, a good chunk polyamide? I know I am. Yeah, let me know what you think. One of my favourite parts about doing these lookbook reactions is to hear your thoughts, your comments, your opinions down below, because you always have some really great advice and thoughts on the collection, some things that I never even think of. So I really appreciate hearing from you. So let me know down below. I'll also leave some videos on screen if you would like to continue watching. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing really well, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!